off by redefining absolute values. So we've talked about before, but remember that the absolute value is the distance between 0 and a number. So let's take -3, for example, the absolute value of -3. It is 1, 2, 3 units away from 0. But on the other hand, 4 doesn't become negative because even though we're going backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, we only talk about distance in terms of positive numbers. We never say we're like -3 feet away from someone. Well, there's two answers that we can plug in. We know that if x is equal to 9, then the absolute value of 9 is equal to 9. That's good. Or it can be equal to -9 because the absolute value of -9 is still 9. So they both work. So our answers could be 9 or -9. Now if we had the same type of problem and we had y inside, y is equal to 10, it's just the positive and negative version of that same number because the absolute value of 10 is 10. That's good. The absolute value of -10 is 10. That's good. So s is equal to -10 or 10, or you can again put in the brackets. Typically you want the negative number to go before the positive number. A positive and negative version of the equation. We're going to get rid of the absolute value and equal it to +7, and then on the side over here we're going to do the same thing but write it equal to -7, because if we got inside 7 or -7 just like above, we're still going to get the right answer because when we take the absolute value it becomes positive. And then we solve the equations just like normal, subtract 3 on both sides and we get 4, and divide by 5, and on the left hand side we're going to get a fraction, and that's okay. Or we can subtract 3 on the other side, and actually our process is the same, we just get a slightly different answer. And
good afternoon.
and w equals -2. For absolute value equations, we always have two solutions. So why can't we have the absolute value of 3x equal -8? Well, we just said that anything that's inside the absolute value is going to be positive, so it's called no solution because no answer inside that 3x will ever be negative. So absolute value, like absolute value of 3x plus 10 equals 2. Well, and then we go ahead and break it up into two pieces. But again, when we have the absolute value, it can never equal a negative number, so this would just be no solution. The other way that we could have our absolute value look normal way, where we have 3x plus 2 is equal to 5x minus 8, and then we have the negative way, where we would keep the left-hand side the same, but then we just make the right-hand side negative, so we'll distribute everything by a -1. So let's go ahead and solve them separately because it can be a little confusing if we do them at the same time. So we subtract by 3x on both sides to get 2 is equal to 2x minus 8. Add 8 on both sides to get 10 is equal to 2x. Divide by 2, and we get 5 is equal to x as one of our answers. On the negative side, the left-hand side, like we said, stays the same, but everything inside that parentheses will switch signs, so -1 times 5x becomes -5x, and -1 times -8 becomes +8. So in this case, I'm going to add 5x on both sides to get 8x plus 2 is equal to 8. Subtract 2, and then we're going to get a fraction, which is not our favorite thing to get, but to 5, or x is equal to 3/4. And that's the end of this video.